Hello, guys, and welcome back to Read Aloud. We are reading The Tale of Despereaux by Kate DeCamillo. We have finished the first book about Despereaux, but we will come back to him, so don't forget what you've heard so far. Everything relates. So we are to the second book, and the second book is called Despereaux. What kind of word is that? It's an Italian word, and we're going to learn more about it in a minute. Chapter 16, Blinded by the Light. As our story continues, reader, we must go back in time to the birth of a rat named Despereaux and called Despereaux, a rat born into the filth and darkness of the dungeon. Several years before the mouse Despereaux was born, upstairs in the light. Reader, do you know the definition of the word Despereaux? If you look in your dictionary, you will find that it means the arrangement of light and dark, darkness and light together. Rats do not care for light. Despereaux's parents were having a bit of fun when they named him that. Rats have a sense of humor. Rats, in fact, I think life is very funny. And they're right, reader. They are right. In the case of Despereaux, however, the joke had a hint of prophecy to it. For it happened that when Despereaux was a very young rat, he came upon a great length of rope on the dungeon floor. So, do you think life is very funny? And why would rats think life was very funny? Is it the kind of funny we think about? Things that make us feel better because they're just silly or goofy. What things do they think are funny? And Despereaux, the mix of light and dark. Why did his parents think that was funny, and why does it have a hint of prophecy to it? So something predicting what might happen. So he came upon a great length of rope on the dungeon floor. "Ah, what have we here?" said Despereaux. Being a rat, he immediately began to nibble at the rope. "Stop that!" boomed a voice. A great hand came out of the darkness and picked up the rat by his tail and hung him suspended upside down. "Were you nibbling at Gregory's rope, rat?" "Who wants to know?" said Despereaux, for even upside down, he was still a rat. "You smart alecky rat! You smart alecky rat! Nibbling on Gregory's rope! Gregory will teach you to mess with his rope." And keeping Despereaux upside down, Gregory lit a match with the nail of his thumb. And then held the brilliant flame right in Despereaux's face. "Ah!" said Despereaux. He pulled his head back, away from the light, but, alas, he did not close his eyes, and the flame exploded around him and danced inside him. "Has no one told you the rules?" said Gregory. "What rules?" "Gregory's rope, rat, is off limits. So, apologize for chewing on Gregory's rope. I will not, said Roscuro. Apologize. No. Filthy rat, said Gregory. You black-souled thing. Gregory is at it with you rats. He held the match closer to Roscuro's face, and a terrible smell of burnt whiskers rose up around the jailer and the rat. And then the match went out, and Gregory released Roscuro's tail. He flung him back into the darkness. Do not ever touch Gregory's rope again, or you will be sorry. Roscuro sat on the dungeon floor. The whiskers on his left side of his face were gone. His heart was beating hard. And though the light from the match had disappeared, it danced still in the rat's eyes, even when he closed them. Light, he said aloud, and then he whispered the words again. Light. From that moment forward, Roscuro showed an abnormal, inordinate interest in illumination of all sorts. He was always, in the darkness of the dungeon, on the lookout for light. The smallest glimmer, the tiniest shimmer. His rat soul longed inexplicably for it. He began to think that light was the only thing that gave life meaning, and he despaired that there was so little of it to be had. He finally voiced this sentiment to his friend, a very old, one-eared rat named Botticelli Rimorso. I think, said Roscuro, that the meaning of life is light. Light? Said Botticelli. You kill me. Light has nothing to do with it. What does it all mean, then? Said Roscuro. The meaning of life, said Botticelli, is suffering. Specifically, the suffering of others. Prisoners, for instance. Reducing a prisoner to weeping and wailing and begging is a delightful way to invest in your existence with meaning. As he spoke, Botticelli swung from one extraordinarily long nail on his right paw a heart-shaped locket. He had taken the locket from a prisoner and hung it on a thin braided rope. Whenever Botticelli spoke, the locket moved back and forth it swung. Are you listening? Botticelli said to Roscuro. I am listening. Good, said Botticelli. Do as I say, and your life will be full of meaning. This is how to torture a prisoner. First, you must convince him that you are a friend. Listen to him. encourage him to confess his sins. And then, when the time is right, talk to him. Tell him what he wants to hear. Tell him, for instance, that you will forgive him. This is a wonderful joke to play on a prisoner, to promise forgiveness. Why? Said Roscuro. His eyes went back and forth, following the locket. Because, said Botticelli, you will promise it, but you will not grant it. You gain his trust, and then you deny him. You refuse to offer the very thing that he wants. Forgiveness, freedom, friendship, whatever that his heart most desires, you withhold. At this point in his lecture, Botticelli laughed so hard that he had to sit down and catch his breath. The locket swayed back and forth and back and forth and stopped altogether. Said Botticelli. You gain his trust. You refuse him, and you become what he knew you were all along. Not a friend, not a confessor, a forgiver, but a rat. Botticelli wiped his eyes and shook his head. In a sign of contentment, he set the locket in motion again. At this point, it is most effective to run back and forth over the prisoner's feet, inducing a physical terror along with the emotional sort. Oh, he said, it is such a lovely game, such a lovely game, and it is absolutely chock full of meaning. I would very much like to torture a prisoner, said Roscuro. I would like to make someone suffer. Your time will come, said Botticelli. Currently, all the prisoners are spoken for, but another prisoner will arrive sooner or later. How do I know this to be true? Because, Roscuro, thankfully, there is evil in this world, and the presence of evil guarantees the existence of prisoners. So soon there will be a prisoner for me? Yes, said Botticelli Rimborso. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Of course you are looking forward to it. You are looking forward to it because you are a rat. A real rat. Yes, said Roscuro. I am a real rat. Concerned not at all with the light, said Botticelli. Concerned not at all with the light, said Roscuro. Botticelli laughed again and shook his head. The locket, suspended from a long nail on his paw, swung back and forth, back and forth. You, my friend, are a rat. Exactly. Yes. Evil prisoners, rats, suffering. It all fits together so neatly, so sweetly. Oh, it is a lovely world, a lovely, dark world. Spooky. He, Botticelli, is a spooky rat. And now Roscuro has gone from wanting light, dancing light in his soul, to wanting to make prisoners suffer. Chiaroscuro, the light and the dark together. Think about character traits. Think about what's going on in Roscuro. Why is this happening? What is happening? We'll find out more about him tomorrow in The Tale of Despereaux by Kate DeCamillo. See you then.